Just look at me now. Just look at me now. Just look at me now. Eyes up on me, take a look at me now. Just look at me now. Just look at me now. Eyes up on me, take a look at me now. Takes on the strike. I am the star.
Are champions.
Good evening. The Barclays Women's Super League season is in full swing, and as the weather cools down, the football is certainly heating up. Here's what we have coming up for you on the Women's Football Show. Bristol City continued their search for their first points of the season as they welcomed Arsenal to Ashton Gate. The two sides at the top of the table went head-to-head as surprise package Leicester City played host to Manchester City. And Brighton, the only side to have beaten Chelsea at home in the league since 2019, visited Kingsmeadow looking to repeat the feat. Plus, as always, all the goals from the rest of the matches in the WSL too. Now, Gilly Flaherty is back with me in the studio, whilst the recently retired ex-England forward Tash Dowie also makes her Women's Football Show debut. Now, we're going to start the programme at Ashton Gate as recently promoted Bristol City look to kick-start their campaign against an Arsenal side who had lift-off last weekend thanks to two injury-time goals against Aston Villa. Farookhi, watch this one.
Rachel Furness says Bristol City have been approaching the week positively. That's despite that 5-0 thrashing at Manchester City last time out. She starts against Arsenal, but 22-year-old Olivia Clark has handed her debut in goal, with Kayla Marquise not included in the matchday squad against her parent club. Ella Powell and Fionn Morgan also come in. Anything less, though, than an Arsenal victory would be a big shock. Lara Cadena and Victoria Pelova are the two changes for Arsenal for their lineup against Villa. Beth Mead, who got an assist in her first minutes since November in that game, as Arsenal dramatically won in stoppage time, is named again on the bench, alongside another player returning from an ACL injury in Viviana Miedemar. And just before kick-off, we're going to pause to remember all those affected by the ongoing events in Israel and in Gaza.
Well, welcome along to the show, Tash. Good to have you with us. Let's start with the Arsenal perspective there, because a win's a win, another win, back-to-back wins, but it wasn't exactly convincing, was it?
No, I think going into the game we were all guilty that we thought it'd be a lot bigger scoreline and a lot more comfortable. But
do you understand Ida Val's frustration there, really, that they aren't getting 3 points and being, well, no, they are getting 3 points, but not being more convincing?
Yeah, and I think obviously you've seen it over the games this whole season. They've had chances, but the positive from that is that they are creating chances.
Right. Well, next up, our focus turns to the two teams who started the weekend at the top of the table. Now, Manchester City had an aggregate score of 14-1 against Leicester across their past 4 meetings, but they were only separated by goal difference going into their Saturday night meeting at the King Power this weekend. So far this season, we have certainly seen a very different Leicester side.
Palmer with a fabulous goal. That's a ball through for Peterman, and it's 1-0. Leicester City maintain their unbeaten run. Bunny short, and it is a moment of brilliance. Towards Cannon, she let run again. What a strike and what a goal!
Well, could Leicester keep up their impressive start? It's been a busy weekend for Gilly. She was at the King Power alongside Vicki Sparks.
Leicester make 3 changes from the side that earned a creditable draw at Manchester United last time out. Hannah Kane makes her first league start of the season. Jutta Rantala and Julie Thibault also come in, with Green, Cayman and Goodwin dropping to the bench. Lauren Hemp is back on the bench for Manchester City after recovering from a shoulder problem, as Gareth Taylor names an unchanged side from the thrashing of Bristol City, with Khadija Shaw and Jill Roord both in red-hot form. 3 goals apiece so far this season. They both bagged braces in that 5-0 victory.
We're now going to head to the home of the champions as Chelsea welcomed Brighton, and earlier this week we caught up with one of the Seagulls' latest arrivals. Champions League winner Vicki told us about captaincy and the new project under Melissa Phillips.
Wright's throw, the layoff was good. Frank Kirby. Bagley didn't get a touch, the crossbars bailed her out, and Brighton hack it clear again. Decent looking counter this from a very new look Brighton side. As Pinto gets it to Robinson, Bramer in the middle, 1-0 Brighton.
Now, well, it's time for us to round up the remaining 3 fixtures from the weekend, starting with Manchester United's trip to Merseyside to face Everton. Emma Jones can bring us up to speed.
Before kick-off at Walton Hall Park, there was a minute's silence in tribute to Sir Bobby Charlton, with both sets of players wearing black armbands. Liverpool had only won 2 of their last 15 Barclays WSL matches in London, but had the better of a cagey first half against West Ham. Aston Villa had lost their opening 3 Barclays WSL games heading into Saturday's meeting with Tottenham, but had the opportunity to calm their nerves early on.
OK, well, let's take a look at what that means in the Barclays Women's Super League then. This is how the table looks. Manchester City remain top. They're level on points with Chelsea, but ahead on goal difference. Tottenham's emphatic win puts them in 3rd. Leicester City drop down to 5th, and Aston Villa and Bristol City remain at the bottom of the table, still in search of their first points on the board. In the Barclays Championship today, 8th place Durham welcomed Blackburn Rovers, who sat in 5th. Saoirse Noonan put the home side in front with this header in the 23rd minute, and just 5 minutes later, Noonan got her second with a curling effort in to the top corner. Now, just before half-time, Blackburn did make use of a quick counter-attack. Tyler Toland finishing off this move to pull one back for the visitors, but Durham did hold on to their lead to gain their first win in over a month. Well, there were 22 goals across the Championship today. 7 of those came at Birmingham as they flew past Watford. London City Lionesses gained their first win since the beginning of September. Sunderland and Sheffield United both grabbed 3 points on the road, and Charlton clinched the win at home to Crystal Palace. Well, Sunderland are the only remaining unbeaten side in the Championship. They're top 3 points clear of Southampton. Reading's second successive loss sees them drop down to 9th, and Watford are without a point from their last 5, but they do still sit above bottom place Lewis, thanks only now to goal difference. Well, coming up for you on the BBC, the Monday Night Club returns to iPlayer tomorrow at 7 p.m. as Mark Chapman and guests debate the weekend's football action. The Men's Champions League returns this week. You can head to Sounds on Tuesday for live commentary of Manchester United versus FC Copenhagen, and Newcastle United against Borussia Dortmund will be on Wednesday. And you can also head to the iPlayer to catch the latest episodes of this one. Well, thank you so much at home for watching. A reminder, we're on at 10 p.m. every single week on the BBC iPlayer, then a little bit later for you on BBC One. Big thanks to Tash and to Gilly for joining us. Brilliant debut, Tash. We won't be back next week because there is an international break, so enjoy those fixtures. So we'll see you same time, same place in a couple of weeks. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
It's Chloe Kelly for Manchester City, and Manchester City take the lead. They preserve their unbeaten start to the season.
The shot from distance, absolutely brilliant from Katie McCabe. And what an equaliser that is. Rachel Furness